So if a teenager pitches to an investor, what does an investor look for? So, is there any way for a teenager to get in touch with investors? Because there are a lot of teenagers out there who have great ideas, who have great skill, and who are doing a very good job, but they are in their own cocoon. So, is there any way they can reach out to investors?
For teenagers, it's difficult. I could because the person I'm doing it with, he's not a teenager. He's young, but he's not a teenager, and he could connect with them really easily. For me, it's a bit difficult because I have the age gap thing.
Right.
So for teenagers, it's hard. But talking about investors, you do have some venture capitalist funds that just fund college students or school students. I don't remember the name, but I think 100x or Start. There was some. I don't remember the names exactly because I never went through them.
So even if you don't have any connection, you can still reach out to investors in one way or the other.
You can, but please make sure that what you're doing is good enough and you have confidence in your thing, right, in your product. Because people reach out to investors really early stage, right? They've not even went through customer
bootstrapping and all.
Yeah, they've not went through a lot of stuff that you have to do. At a really early stage of startup, you just have to scrap everything first of all. Or maybe you have some rich guy in your family and they can just angel invest in your thing. And you have to go through a lot of the whole process of getting the MVP, the minimum viable product out in one. And you have to research on that.
All the PUBG players were thinking about most valuable player.
मस्त जोक मारा रे ये हंस रे हलकट हंस
So you have to go through that process, and most of them don't. They just think the idea is enough. The idea is about 20% of it. The idea is not the biggest thing. See, everyone has similar experiences in life. You're born, you go to school. That's happening in each and every country. It's not different. You have the same people. You have about the same gender ratio. Everything is lining up. It's just the same experience everyone has. Just the languages are different and the culture is different, but almost the experience is similar. And your experiences guide your thinking process, right? So most probably what you're making, someone most probably have already thought of it or made it. You just didn't do the research that well.
So if a teenager pitches to an investor, what does an investor look for?
Investors, they are really optimistic. If you believe that they want to invest, right? They want to put the money in. That's why they're investors, right? They want to put the money in. Your thing just has to be better than others. That's it.
Do they look for soft skills as well? Or just they look at the product?
No, they look for all the skills, They're investing at early stage, they're investing in the person and the product. Because even big companies pivot, right? They're making this day. At starting they're making this, but if this doesn't work out, it doesn't keep going as good as it was going in the start, that doesn't keep happening, then they pivot to something else. And that's where the people come in.
Right.
You have to invest in the people as well.
Man, it really gives you a lot of experience and knowledge when you start working. More than books, actually. Because in books, you have already... what you study is from the eye of someone who has written it.
Yeah, that's why books are good for stuff you're getting into. You're starting out, right? If you want to have your own startup, then read some books about it at first. Then you get the experience of someone who already went through it.
But
Get some gist of it.
scalability comes from your soft skills
Yeah, scalability comes from
and
your
the product design, of
experience.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
experience.
So, what do you think your education has done to you? I mean, what role has your school played in you dodging through all these difficulties and finding your thing?
My school.
If not academics,
Well, I started with this after school. So
no. If you started this after school, but you were already into this field while you were studying. So, do you think your school has played any role, or your experiences at school have played any role in you getting to this point so far?
well, meeting people and getting to know people.
So, networking again.
Not networking. That's not networking. I didn't benefit from the people I met in school that much, but
Benefit. See, I'm not talking about the benefit of the being into tech. The benefit you get as a human.
yeah,
Human
So
qualities.
you get to know people, how
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest part that school has played for me. But that's
So it's played a good role for you.
Yeah.
That is the reason why you should not hate your education, because if you think your education is not enough, in any way your experiences at school, they frame a lot of things for you.
everything from your house to your school to going out.
You know,
to
that
jobs.
inferiority complex, sometimes that superiority complex, the transitions and all, for that I think school is really important. There
Yeah.
might be flaws in the education system, but you cannot ignore this fact that school plays a very big role in your life, and it is actually responsible for what kind of a person you will be. And
Yeah.
that indirectly, in fact directly, it reflects what career you choose, how well you do in your career. So I think school plays a really important role, whether you love it or hate it.
Shouldn't hate school. Shouldn't hate the place where you're going to spend 7 hours of your day.
Of your day, not your life.
Yeah, of your day.
So what was the point when you figured out that, okay, this is my thing, now I need to focus on this thing?
There was a point, but I don't remember the point exactly. Right? I was still young. You don't remember really all the experiences when you're really young,
ये कुछ
right?
फूक वूक क्या है, मुझे लग रहा है ना कुछ भी याद नहीं है.
When you're small, right? 15, 16, you don't even remember
Yeah.
which class you were in when you were
You are unable to
16.
contemplate that, right?
Yeah, I don't know when what was the exact point, but around when I was 15.
Nice. So if there is just one single thing that you would like to say to a kid who is into tech especially, what would that be?
Yeah, for tech, one thing could be that try to meet people better than you and just ask them what books they've read. What I've seen is really good people in tech, they read books.
Okay.
At least related to tech, they've read. Yeah.
So
Read some books, some academics related thing, there's some research paper or something. Depends on what they're doing and what their field of work is. But no one you'd find in tech that would say, yeah, YouTube videos is the way to go to get started. You could get your hands in the water with YouTube videos, but to really get into something, you need books there. Yeah.
okay, so reach out to as many people as you can and understand the amount and the type of content that they consume. So that is what you're
Ask
trying
them
to say.
just because they probably know if you are going to learn Golang, right? Golang is a language,
Okay.
programming language, and if you're trying to learn that, someone would have probably tried 2 books for that, and one would have worked for them, right? Could work for you, could not, but you should try their recommendation. As we ask people for movies, right? Usually it works. If you ask your friend which movie have you watched, which movie did you like? Usually you'd like the movie. Sometimes you won't, but yeah. that same with books.
So the whole point of today's podcast is that reach out and ask for help, ask for suggestions. That is that is a good way to improve yourself.
Yeah, always reach out.
Always reach out to people. So I think
In a good way, like don't keep them out. Don't keep sending messages if they're not replying. Don't keep reach out to them. If they want to help, they will. If they don't want to, they can't. They don't have the time. They just didn't get to your thing. Don't keep doing it again and again and again. If you're emailing someone, don't keep emailing them every day. Mail them for every week for 2-3 times. If they still don't answer, then they either don't want to or they can't.
But you had this conviction.
Then try something.
You had this conviction. I personally feel that it is because you have very supportive parents. But what if you didn't have that kind of support from your parents? Would you be this optimistic? Or alternatively, what would have you done if your parents weren't that supportive to you?
I'd still ask people. I was doing this from a very young age, right? Say I'm going to the market, right? Once I was lost in the market when I was 7 years old. I went to somewhere, asked them give me a phone. I didn't tell them what was the issue. Asked them please can you give me a phone? And then I dialed the number and then I called my father. It was just there but I couldn't see him.
Okay, so if you are interested in it, even without support, you'll find a way.
You'll find someone who will help if you keep finding. Someone will help. People usually help. I mean, just think it from your perspective, right? If someone came to you and asked hey, can you help with this? You most probably say yes. If a stranger asks, if you already know the person and you don't want to help them because of some particular reason, then that's a different thing. But usually with strangers, they help.
I hope there is someone, at least one kid who's listening to you and who's hopeful that he'll do something good, especially in tech, because this podcast was more about tech. Because there are a lot of kids who want to do a lot of things and they feel that lack of support or lack of knowledge is actually holding them. But this podcast, the whole purpose of this podcast for me especially was to give out a message that it's in your head. It doesn't hold you back. You hold yourself back.
You do sometimes. So you have to put as much effort as you used to put to ask for toys, right?
Yeah.
You have to put that effort into everything. If you do that, then yeah. Because if someone is asking for toys, if it's a random stranger kid, you most probably buy for them if they're on your leg, right? And you have to put that, keep putting that effort and that. Yeah.
So don't be ashamed. Go out, reach out to people, ask for help, ask for suggestions, and don't think that a lack of support can pull you down. Just simply keep doing your thing, bit by bit at a time. It's completely fine. You'll get to that point someday or the other. So Thank you so much, Aayushman, for joining in. It was a very fun podcast for me. Okay, we'll keep meeting, man. Chalo.